here in UK, you have to be very careful when you're dealing with residents. Use a sling, use a hoist, use a steady, use a zimmer frame. All those things you have to be very, very, very mindful of. We don't even have care homes in our countries sometimes. But there's that one particular day when things just choose to go wrong unexpectedly. Nice. What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, the channel where we keep things real. And today we are going to be talking about the reality of working in UK as a healthcare provider. I thought I should come and discuss this topic with you today because I was very saddened because one of the healthcare assistants here in the UK has been imprisoned, and he has been imprisoned for 10 years, and he was imprisoned for manslaughter. So this is what I'm going to talk about in today's video. And the purpose of today's video is not to discourage anyone, but to let you know the reality on the ground when you're working here in the UK. So without wasting any of your time, if you're new to my channel, my name is Pauline Popomoyo, and in this channel we keep things real. If you're interested in relocating to overseas, be it UK or any other country, and if you're interested in life in the UK or life overseas, may you kindly subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos, because I have plenty content lined up to cover all those topics that I've just mentioned, and be rest assured you won't regret it. For now, let's get into it.
I'm a savage, yeah. Classy, bougie, ratchet, yeah. Sassy, moody, nasty, yeah. Hacking, stupid, what's happening? What's happening? I'm a savage.
So guys, when I heard about this story, I thought I should come and share it with you, because most of the time we usually find ourselves in this particular situation. It's very vital information for anyone who is wishing to come and work here in the UK. Whether you're working as a healthcare assistant, or you're working as a nurse, or you're working as any healthcare provider, the information that I'm going to share with you is vital in any of those fields, as long as you're a healthcare professional. So when you're working, for example, let's say you're working in a care home, each and every individual has what we call a handling profile. So when we're looking at a handling profile, we are looking at a situation whereby there's a residence file, and in that file they're going to tell you how many people are supposed to handle this person. For example, when the person is bathing, does it need 2 people? If he is being repositioned in bed, does it need 2 people? If you're changing his pad, does it need 2 people? And all those things. So before you touch any resident, you are supposed to know the handling profile. How do I handle this resident? So what happened is, this healthcare assistant, and this healthcare assistant is an international student at a university here in UK, and he had found a part-time job as a healthcare assistant. As you all know, that I always say when I talk of jobs which require visa sponsorship, there are people who are students and would like to take those jobs to work as healthcare assistant. So this particular individual is a student who chose to work as a healthcare assistant part-time. So what happened is, it was a situation which is similar to my situation when I work at work, because I'm a registered general nurse, but the honest truth is I'm a nurse / healthcare assistant. I've actually made peace with that, because this is what it is. For example, if I'm working night duty, I can be working with 20 residents and 1 healthcare assistant. So what happened is, this healthcare assistant, for example, I'm giving medication, and during the time that I'm giving medication, I'll be busy, isn't it? So the individual, it needed change, and the individual was assistants of 2. When I'm saying assistants of 2, I mean if you're mobilizing them, you have to be 2. If you're changing their page, you have to be 2. If you're washing them, you have to be 2. But then this individual assessed and thought, I can be able to do this individual on my own, while this the other person is, for example, giving medication. Like I've already said, I can be giving medication while the healthcare assistant is working on the floor. As soon as I finish my medication round, I join the healthcare assistant and we work together on the floor. This individual decided to go ahead and be working on his own. And as he was working on his own, he was changing this resident. For example, he was changing a pad. And during the process of changing the pad, during the process of turning the person fell out of bed. Ideally, if a person falls out of bed, you're supposed to hit the emergency buzzer to call for attention so that whoever in charge or people in the building can come and assist you, because if there's a fall, we always consider it an emergency. So this individual assessed and said, this person has fallen and I'm not supposed to be attending to this person on my own. What am I going to say when I'm being asked why I was attending to him on my own? So instead of reporting that matter to the person in charge or to anyone, the individual picked that resident and put them back to bed. Looked at the resident looked fine and thought, no one saw me dropping him. He doesn't have any obvious bruising. He doesn't have any obvious injuries. Most of the time, they will not have any obvious injuries and they will only probably appear later. And he knocked off and he went home. But the following day, that particular person whom he had dropped out of bed, unfortunately, died. So here in UK, if an individual dies, any unexpected death has to be investigated. And upon investigation, they discovered that the individual had some bruises. They discovered that the individual had a skull fracture and had a bleed to the brain, and the individual died due to these injuries. You understand, guys? So this incident had to be investigated, and upon investigation, the people were working with him on duty, or the nurse was working with him on duty, said, I did not attend to this individual. He is the one who attended to this individual. And upon being asked further, he actually confessed that I actually dropped him and put him back to bed. Unfortunately, because he was not honest, because he did not report to anyone, it appeared as if he wanted to conceal this. Of course, that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to conceal this so that no one finds out. If this individual had not died, no one was going to find out, isn't it? So because he did not report, because he just took the individual and put them back to bed, he was taken to court. And after being taken to court, he was given a very harsh sentence, and he has been sentenced to 10 years, guys. 10 years in prison, and he has been sentenced for manslaughter. Can you imagine a situation whereby you have sacrificed so much money to come and learn in university, and they're trying to make ends meet by doing healthcare assistant jobs and all that, and at the end of the day, you end up in prison because you failed to be honest? It's very sad, guys. It's really, really sad. So I thought I should come and share this with you guys and say, when you're working here in the UK, you have to be very, very careful. When they are working in a ward, when they are working in a hospital, check the patient's file. Here we refer to them as notes. Check the patient's notes. Go through the notes. Find out, how do I handle this person? What type of food do they eat? Do they eat thickened fluids? See, in my country where I come from, I never knew that fluids could be thickened. I only found out when I was here in UK that people have got swallowing difficulties here in UK, and some of their fluids are supposed to be thickened. So you have to be mindful of all those things. Are they on thickened fluids? Because if an individual is on thickened fluids and you give them fluids which are not thickened, they can choke and die. You want to find out what kind of diet are they eating, because here in UK, I never used to see it in my country. Here in UK, there are different levels of diet. There's level 7, there's level 6, there's level 5, there's level 4. And if you take a level 7 diet and give it to an individual who's a level 3 diet, they are likely to what? To choke, and they can die from that. And you can be in trouble for that because you don't have access. So what I really wanted to share with you guys is that be very, very careful when you're working here in UK. Check the patient's notes. Find out all the necessary information about a patient, and if it says that it's assistance of 2, I know we have done this many times, that even if a patient is assistance of 2, just look at them and say, she can turn in bed, I can do them on my own. And probably this individual would have done this maybe 10, 20, 50, 100 times, but there's that one particular day when things just choose to go wrong. Unexpectedly, things just choose to go wrong. It was not his intention to drop the individual on the floor. It's never anyone's intention to deliberately cause harm, but he made a grave mistake of not being honest even after the fall, because I'm sure if he had been honest, if he had told the nurse that this individual has fallen, the nurse was going to come, the patient was going to commence a neurological observations, and if there were any problems, they're going to be identified early, and obviously they could have intervened. This is something which could have been prevented, guys. Here in UK, you have to be very careful when you're dealing with residents. There are safeguarding issues. There are so many policies and procedures here in UK. So when you come to UK, you have to be mindful of all those things. As long as you are working as a healthcare professional, doesn't matter whether a nurse or a healthcare assistant, domiciliary care worker, we all handle the same patients, isn't it? And when we're handling those patients, we have to be mindful of all those things. So if you don't know the patient, always go through their notes and always follow what is written down in the notes. If it's assistance of two, assistance of two. Assist with feeds, you assist with feeds. Use a commode for toileting, use a sling, use a hoist, use a steady, use a Zimmer frame. All those things you have to be very, very, very mindful of, because there's a whole lot of difference if you compare hospitals in UK and hospitals abroad. Care homes in UK, we don't even have care homes in our countries. It's very different, guys, and remember that in most of our countries we don't have care homes. We only find out about care homes here in UK, and there are so many things that you'll find different when you come here in UK. So guys, this is all that I wanted to share with you guys, and this information is very, very important. Here in UK, you stick to policies and procedures, you stick to the patient's notes, you do as what is written in the patient's notes, and they're supposed to be evaluated on a monthly basis. This is all that I wanted to share with you guys. May you kindly smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.